Oh, what works in war? Everyone tells me I'm wrong, but I'm like, I don't think it's about tanks anymore. I feel like $6 million tanks are getting beaten by $50,000 javelins all the time. And unless you're America rich, a war of attrition where 50,000 and 6 million are somehow even is a problem. And this drone stuff Kyle talked about, man, why are there still people in planes? It really limits what the plane can do, like the amount
that does seem like
acrobatic.
now, right?
You know how much space and money and like other bullshit we have to put into a plane for the human to do well in it? If you take the human out and make it all remote controlled, it seems like that's a better plane.
Well, if they jam the controls, though, there's all sorts of like jamming stuff. You know, you need a wire connecting you in the plane. I did see they were talking about we're in the 5th generation of fighters, I guess now, like the F-22, F-35.
Who's counting?
The military industrial complex. And so they were talking about
what did they know?
The Fs, it would seem.
They were talking about the proposed the idea for the 6th generation fighter, and when it was supposedly going to be coming out and on the battlefield and everything. And that system is supposedly a plane with 3 to 5 smaller drone-like planes that accompany it in formation. And when I saw them like do an artist rendering, I was like, man, that looks like those like UFOs that everybody sees where you've got like 3 lights flying together doing stuff. Because they showed like, first of all, it looks a lot like the B-2 stealth bomber, you know, the big wing, but now make it a fighter plane. It looked pretty cool what they drew. Who knows how close it is to what it's going to be. But then it had like similar drones that were all like to the left and right and in the front. And I was like, I've always thought that whenever we see UFOs, unidentified flying objects, I guess, not necessarily aliens or green men, that I always figure it's some sort of military drone or aircraft or something. Because I remember in the 90s, we do. In the 90s, remember the triangular aircraft that everybody was seeing in the 90s? The X-Files even made a whole thing about it. Like that was the stealth fighter.
Feds, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the plane that everyone was seeing in the 90s? That was the stealth fighter.
So one of the things that occurs to me about taking the pilot out of the plane, I know there's the whole like, can they jam it and get us to lose control of it? Maybe they can. What the fuck do I know? But
maybe jammers are real. Who knows?
Yeah. But pilots are expensive and time consuming to train, right? We all know what it costs to lose a plane. It's like $35 million. It's a big problem. You take the person out of it, and that $35 million plane can be equaled for $20 million, perhaps, because there's a lot of expense and shit that goes in there and keeping the pilot alive. Also, our pilots now are like fucking FPS players that have to stop playing after their first death, right? They're all noobs. Even the good ones are noobs. Imagine if you could respawn, be like, all right, you got me. Now I'm going to come back with drone number 2. I'm still trained. If anything, I've got a lesson learned in this thing. I think drones and like lightweight.
It'd be interesting to see if a drone can fight with a human being, though, right? In a fighter plane scenario, because that's what it's about.
Drones can routinely pull 18 Gs when they turn. You know, drones can stop on a dime. Humans can't do that. They get concussions and shit, blackouts.
Well, I mean, drones can, but now we're talking about a jet-powered drone that's the size of like a plane, right? That's carrying air-to-air missiles and stuff, and has to make decisions and has
based
to
on
a target.
Oh, I see. We're
gonna
AI in the drone.
Like, we're gonna go like, and you got to beat my ace up here, who's been flying his whole life and studying like military games with your robot that's on its own.
Oh, I disagree. No. I'm at home.
I've been cheesing Halo for so long. I know we got this.
I've been remote control. I'm an expert. I've died 6 times already. I'm a veteran.
You want to remote control this thing?
Yeah.
Input lag is crazy. You wouldn't put up with lag in Call of Duty.
But I'm shooting missiles that are auto guided. Like the lag is crazy. I hear you, but how bad is it?
It's probably a terrible ping. Like
why?
Like multiple seconds, right?
Frame rate issues, you know.
I'm fucking tired of skill-based matchmaking.
Well, I also think that if that were the answer, I think the United States does whatever's like the meta, right? Like I think our
I don't
stuff's 2
know.
steps
I feel
ahead
like
of
America
everyone.
does a fair amount of like just listening to the Air Force and what they want. Like it. Fuck, the reason our planes are black instead of pastel is because it's cooler.
We figured out the best color.
We're not going to make pastel planes, okay?
They're more stealthy.
We're not the pussy force.
They're
Have you
stealthy.
seen? Have you seen?
We
those planes
we
or,
want them to see us coming at some point. They need to know.
Not
Have you
stealth.
seen the boats
want
they
them to
make
know.
with the angular paint patterns to like make it hard to know how far away the boat is?
I
Yeah.
have seen
Yes.
that. I
That
don't know if
is
it works.
bar none I don't know if it works either, but it is the coolest looking sort of camo we have on anything. Those striped boat camos. You can picture
that
right?
zigzag they did in
Yeah.
World War II. Yeah, yeah.
That's super neat.
That
Well,
goes- that
actually,
goes
no.
pretty
Second
hard.
place. Second place. First place, long shot. Those like demon mouths they put on planes.
Yes,
World War I and World War II. Nothing comes close to that.
All
We
right,
lost
Taylor,
our
you're gonna have
swag.
to back off because I like the chicks with the skirts blowing up on the planes.
Those were bombers.
There's room on those for
Different.
everyone. You got a heart that says "mom" with an arrow through it. You got a bunch of Sailor Jerry looking tattoos, and then a big scary bloody mouth. No wonder
I
we
do
won.
love stuff about that, like around that paint. I do love stuff like that about old warfare. Like before we had strategy and everything, it's like put a mouth on it, make it mean looking. Yeah.
They still do that.
Like the
How are we gonna
tradition of,
scare
like,
those Japanese?
put the dog with gloves on our missiles and shit. Like I like that.
Yeah.
I like
What do
that
they
stuff.
hate?
I love that.
Fanged animals. Trust me, I'm very familiar with their culture.
The German fears the tiger. Just
Here's the time.